Hello guys, it is Sonia and we are back for another day of making and creating. This is what I envision for today, where every day, if you've been joining me, this week we will be coming upon our 30 days of videos. And so if you've been watching, up to this point, I'm going to tell you, you're ready to open your jewelry business, right? You're ready to just make and create whatever you can dream of, you can think of. So just want to say thank you for joining me and being on the journey here. So the goal was to film for 30 days of videos, or 30 videos of making and creating jewelry with stuff that I have, supplies that I have, to fill my shop before I go on my trip back home to my home to the north, to Canada. I'm trying to find my words today. I'm feeling really, really tired. I'm going to blame it on the heat because things have gotten warmer. Okay, I feel at this point we're cruising along pretty much in front of the sun, very close right now. It's like almost 90s here today, and humidity. Whew, I just went and got something to drink to fuel up. So with that said, oh yeah, what was it? The sun, the heat has cooked my brain. I don't have words. But yeah, going back home to my home to the north and back to Canada, to the island of Newfoundland. And so I wanted to stock my shop with all kinds of goodies before I go, so that way the shop will be full. Just stay productive before I go and get it all knocked out, right? So these are 3 sweet little prisms that I picked up from my friend Ava Motherwell. Now, if you've been following me on here for a while, you know that she actually came to my shop last year. She is very well known, and she is the creator behind what is called the Whole Bead Show. She travels the country, and she started like back in the 1990s, I'm pretty sure. I did an interview with her when she came to the shop because I was really curious about her life and her beginnings. She's been doing jewelry for so long. And she does a lot of vintage beads. She does a lot of these are Italian or German resin. So she just has some really cool manufacturers that she works with to create some really cool beads. And you've actually seen me use them in my creations. And as part of my bead bar here at the shop, I have tables of her beads. But I did interview her, so if you want to go back, if you just search Sonia Miller, Ava Motherwell, I'm sure you'll find that really interesting video. Anyway, she's just a really cool cat. So I picked up these right here off of her. When she was here, we did a trunk show, and everybody locally came in and got to shop. And anyway, I was in love with these because I love crystal points. Right now, I'm actually wearing 2 crystal points of my own. I have one here, if you can see it in the mirror here, just a dangly one. And I also have these that we just did a new batch of these real. These are resin, but these are real here in my hand, and we just did some wrapping of those. Those are out on the shop floor and already disappearing. Guys, everything's disappearing already. I said I was stocking my shop before I go to Canada, and honestly, even my charm bracelets, there's 1 left. I made 5 this past week. 5, remember that with the hand? There's 1 left. That's okay with me. I'm cool with that. I appreciate that. That is funding my trip back north. That'll pay for my ferry ride, all the jewelry I've been selling. So I'm going to keep on going with it. So today I'm going to take these. They have the hole on the top. If you see it right here, that goes through it. So I'm going to do, I'm going to just do the first thing that comes to my gut, which is let's do a dangly pendant. And I pulled out as well some genuine leather that I have here, because I think it would be really cool to hang that on the leather. It would look really good. I do have some other different styles of necklaces, but honestly, if you're gonna have a point like this, I feel like it should hang down, like it's gonna be a longer piece. If you're stacking your necklaces, you're gonna want this to hang longer. That's the way I see it, right? So I'm gonna grab some wire here that I want to work with, and I think I'm going to go with this guy here, this one right here. If you go to sfbead.com, it'll link you to the supplies I use. You'll see the wire, all that good stuff. I generally go between an 18 to a 22 gauge. I'm right there in that wheelhouse depending on what I'm doing. So that's pretty much where I like to be, but I do have wire wrapping tutorials. And by the way, I released a whole new load of crystal strands onto my shop. All right, so you know where that is. Social medias don't like it when I say the name of other places. They're like, no, don't tell anybody else where to go that's not here, okay? Otherwise, we will never show your video to anybody. So anyway, you know, go find where I'm referring. It's in my, let's see, it's in my Betsy shop, okay? You know Betsy? Yeah, my Betsy shop. My Betsy shop. That's what I'm going to start calling it now. Check my Betsy shop. She's my best friend. The algorithm's like, what? So all I did was, you saw that, put a piece through there. I've got a shorter bit on one side, the longer bit on the other. I basically just came up straight with it, straighten it up, and the other little bit is going to get wrapped around here. Get out my tools. I could actually just cut it off there if I want. But the idea is to just kind of, actually that's good there, wrap it around just a little bit. It's not going to fall off, right? And then I just pinch it in so that way it's not going to stick out. All right, cool. Now we could do some fun stuff. We could fill this up with beads. It could be the bottom of a, I don't know, a window catcher, whatever you want it to be. So now what I'm going to do is take my round nose pliers and I'm just going to come up a little bit, and I just need to make a loop, quite honestly. So I'll come up far enough that I can make a loop, and then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go around. I'm going to go around on the bottom. I'm going to cover up some of that wire that I already laid down. You know what I should have done in looking at this? I could actually leave this like this, I guess. But I can even wrap it down to here. Do I want to do that? I'll show you both ways. How about that? Since we started with this one. But now that I look at that, I'm like, I could do something else with this too. All right, so that's good there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and snip it. Remember, in the bird's nest, we put this little piece. This could be any, whether this is a real crystal or resin or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Anything that's drilled that has a hole through it. All right. And I'm going to just stand this up right. All right. Yeah, I'll just use this one like this since this is how I did it. Honestly, could this be an earring? It sure could. If you wanted to have an earring that big. Would I wear an earring that big? Maybe there's an occasion. But I see it as being a really cool, just a drop, a dangle. So tell me if you get it. And after you do the loop as well, and you know, you can kind of come in with your pliers and straighten this part up. I take this round, just put it through because it makes your loop wiggle it a little bit. It gives you a nice circle for your loop, so it just looks a little more finished and nice. Is it nice? Yeah? I love it. I love it. All right, so next up, we're going to go ahead and take some more. I'll do a little bit more for this one because we're going to play. And who doesn't like to play? Guys, I'm getting so excited for my trip back home. I've been, you know, not trying. I have been putting in the work so that when I go, the place will be ready to go. I won't have to worry about anything. You know what it's like, let alone leaving your house for like, you know, a while. But when you go out of country, it's, you know, it's, you can't really do anything from that far away, right? And you're gone for a while. So, can you see how I went squish with that one? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Let's open that again. What will happen after a while is with your wire is you'll begin to go on and do it with your fingers instead of your tools. It just happens like that. So, but I'm just going to straighten this up because I don't want it going squish. Squish. If I want, I can just, if I don't want any of that squiggly wire, you know what? Let's do a fresh start. Poke that through. Easy peasy. But yeah, when you go like that far to the country, you just have to think about By the way, we want to meet in the middle. This time I'm like, not going to be talking about how excited I am to go home. I'm going to be talking about getting this loop right in the middle. You want it to be even. Okay, that's good there. So it just wraps it around a couple times. We can snap that off, squeeze it, so there's no pokey bits. But yeah, when you go out of the country, it's like you can't just drive back home or be back home soon. It's a long commitment, so you have to make sure you have everything. Do I have all my medications? Did I put everything away? Did I take everything? You know, and you know me, before I go, tell me if you feel the same. You just like to have everything cleaned up before you go. So when you are away and you do return, you know, you're not leaving things just kind of chaotic. And so for me, I just, you know, before I leave the shop, I need to clean the public restrooms. I want to like go over everything and just leave it, you know, the best I can. So I'm going to go here. And now this time, when I come down around and I do a twist, what I'm saying is instead of keeping it just up towards the top up here, I can actually come down and start down here. What's your eyeballs? So we just do a few twists down, like down towards the bottom right there. And then we can work our way up again. Wrap up all that. Make it look cool. Clip it off and down. It takes a little extra wire, but you know, it's just a different look. Personal preference, it can go whichever way you want it to go. I think they're going to be all amazing. Now I'm just trying to poke this end of wire back in my bird's nest. Straighten this up, straight as possible. There we go. There's the middle. And stick our circle through. There we go. So it's just two different ways. So we have this one. Do you like it with the base more wrapped like that? Or does it really make a difference to you? Do you like it just kind of dangling like that? Two different ways. Pretty, right? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. It's just beautiful the way it is. Perfect. All right, we have one more. Okay. Whew, it's warm. I turn off my fan when I do these tutorials because otherwise you'd hear my metal fan going and it can make a racket. There we go. Meet in the middle. We're going to cross over. Get that as low as possible to meet and to wrap. Ricky. Didn't know I was a rapper, did you? I got so many skills up my sleeve, you don't even know. So what are we going to do, guys, when we get done with the 30 days this week of videos? Have you enjoyed them? Tell me what you've enjoyed the most about them. Should we continue them on the other side of my vacation? I would like to do a few beading videos when I'm back home next to the ocean. Maybe we'll see some whales, some icebergs. You're squish, aren't you? Let me see if I can fix you up there. That's the other thing too, is that, you know, this guy is a little bit over to one side, but it's not too much. So I'm going to straighten this up where I want it to be. Because remember, I'm going to wrap it and hide all this. So when I do that, I can make it work. Move this away from your eyeballs. Don't want to get you in the eyes with my wire, which is a real thing. I'm just going to wrap the base a few times. Then we're going to do around here. We're just going to hide. straighten that up in the middle. This can go back to the center of the bird's nest. But yeah, have you enjoyed these videos? Leave me a sentence below. What do you want to get into next when I come back? Should we do some painting? Should we do all jewelry? What do you think? Let me know. So what do you think? Which do you like better? The classic simple doesn't use a lot of wire. The bigger the wrap, right here. I love them both. I really do. I love them both. I don't think any of them are, I wouldn't say, you know, I would never say no to accepting any of these. I think they're all beautiful. So here's what they're going to look like. So yeah, this is just a creative channel. So it's whatever I'm doing. You know what? I might even do, I was thinking, if I do bigger picture, like you guys interested in doing kind of just day in the life around the shop of a creative shop owner, and like literally getting up, turning on the lights, showing you what I do throughout the day in the shop, more of the shop videos, stocking. You're welcome to join me on that adventure too, because that also never stops. That's always a whole thing too. But anyway, let me know what you think. So here's how it's going to look. Now what I'm going to do is when I finish this video, and this is how easy it is, okay? I'm just going to tie these because they're going to be so big over the head. It's going to be so that way people can just put them over their head. Like I have necklaces on that I have made that they're so long that I never have to undo them. And so these will be so long. I mean, they're going to be like long, like think of a stack of jewelry, and these just kind of hit way down like belly button to stomach area. You know what I mean? Like a big point, because it's so big. So it can't be, I don't feel like it's going to be like a throat close up type crystal. It's going to be a dangly one. Dangly bits, okay? So yes, if we had to use Mothman over here as an example, Mothman, would you like to be my sample mannequin for the day? That's what I need, a sample mannequin. That if Mothman was wearing this, what he would do is he wouldn't have it up here around his neck, right? He would have it a little bit lower. And then obviously not dragging on the ground, ideally. You're a tall enough person to be able to handle crystal like this. But it would be down further, and then that way you could put your other stacks up here. What do you think? I think you did a beautiful job, my friend. You know, you'd be a fun little piece to stage on too, wouldn't you? All right. All right, good job. I'm going to put you right back here. And you can hold my heart. Mothman has my heart. There we go. So what do you think? I'll have 3 pieces done. So yeah, and then I'll just tie them off. By the way, when you tie them at the very end, something fun that you can do as well is you can tie them, and then you'll have 2 pieces hanging off like this. Put a bead on over there and then tie that in a knot, and it'll just give you 2 beaded ends that will be on the back of your neck. Does that make sense? Tell me yes if it does, because I'm not ready to cut this yet, because I just kind of want to stand up and see where it falls, because these are pretty massive prisms. But yeah, so all I would do again is pretend this is cut. I'm going to tie a knot, and the 2 ends are going to be sticking off just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go find a bead. I'll just use this one because it's close by. This is not the bead I would use, but you just drop a bead on there and then put a knot on this right here so the bead can't get off. Ideally, you're using something that's a little bit smaller. I'm trying to find a smaller bead. Like a small wooden bead would be perfect. If I had a small wooden bead, I'll probably do that. And then put a wooden, tie a knot, put a bead, tie a knot, and then love that, right? All right, friends, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to finish these guys up, get them on the floor, get them tagged, and move on to the very next project, which I will see you on. But yeah, I'm excited as we near 30 days of jewelry making videos come to a completion. I'll take you to Canada with me, and then give me some feedback below. What do you want me to do next? What should we do next? Should we keep creating jewelry? What do you think? Or should we focus on jewelry and a few other things? This is your opportunity. Tell me what you're thinking. All right, stay cool. Bye.